Hello, everybody. Oh. Look at that sweet face. Here you go, sweetness. Oh, we had a nice storm. I don't know if nice is the right word for it. We had a storm. Nothing but crumbs. Nothing but crumbs. Hold on. I gotta get a plate. I gotta get you a plate. I'll open a new bag. Don't you worry, Bandit. You'll get your treats too. Yeah, it was coming down. Whoa. Are you okay there? Need a drink? Need to go get a drink? Yeah, it was coming down so hard. I had to give my friend a ride home from work. And it was just, my van was getting pummeled. Well, hello. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Catherine Gaston. Hello, Eileen Carlin. Hello, Nigel1701. Yep. I see 7. Yeah, it was I'm surprised that the rain stopped. I had a call yesterday. So my basement floods every year. The water comes up from the concrete. Like the concrete is basically at the water table level. So when the water table rises, it just seeps up through the cracks. And it's something the previous owners knew about, but they did not tell me. And I know this because when I was trying to identify which owner had installed the I think it's called a beaver basement system. My daughter reached out to one of her classmates who was the granddaughter of the previous owner. And the mom had responded, "Oh, it leaks every year. That was a normal thing for that house." That would have been really nice to know when I bought it, but it wasn't disclosed. But yeah, it floods bad. So anyways, I called this company like several months ago and said, "Hey, I really need like drain tile installed in my floor." And they said, "Yeah, we'll do that." And then radio silence. I hadn't heard anything from them until they called yesterday and said, "Hey, we can be there at 9 a.m. And I'm like, "Well, I haven't heard from you. Like, there's no planning now. Like, you're just gonna call out of the blue and show up, okay?" But anyways, they were here this morning, and thank goodness, because we got a monsoon. And he said when they jackhammered into the floor. He said I had a ton of water like right at the line. But I have drain tile in my cement now that leads to the sump pump well. So hopefully that'll stop the flooding. Yeah. Eager beavers. Oh, I have Ava fur on my nose. I'm sure it's Ava fur because it wouldn't be kitty fur. I wasn't snuggling with kitties or anything. Hey, none of that. None of that interspecies relations in this household, madam. That's just icky. I know, Earl. I told her no. I don't know how to stop that one. Ava's a very confused pup. Well, she was just chasing Earl. Poor Earl. Ava's in love. Poor Earl. Anyways, tonight, you guys, I apologize for the sound quality of the video. I did as much as I could, but the case is good. The two cases, they're really good, but the audio quality of the defendants is absolutely terrible. I did my best. The nice thing is the judge does reiterate everything, so it's not like you're gonna miss anything other than like hearing what they're saying, but the judge does re-speak it, so they didn't want to see Ava mount Earl. I don't blame them for leaving. I'd have left too if I could, but I'm streaming. Earl, that was too cute. Oh, I don't even know if that'll help. I don't know. It was the podium audio is awful. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna pretend. I did my best. Lots of them. Lots and lots of them coming from Earl tonight. It seems so quiet right now. It's weird. Like after the heavy rains we've had all day, I've had the windows open, and it's been really just torrential downpour and heavy winds, and now there's nothing, and it just feels weird not hearing the rain right now. All right, guys. Let's go see some bad parenting. This judge is pissed.
This is case number 25S00526FY, People State of Michigan versus Guy Harrison.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Frey appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Morales on behalf of Guy Harrison. He is in the back.
Okay. I'm thinking he went to go get him. Okay. Storm King. Miss King, can you hear me?
Yes.
You crying? Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Are you on my docket for today?
Your Honor, she's the victim on, or she's the parent of the victim on Mr. Harrison's case.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I understand. We're gonna do Mr. Hairston now. And Miss Mitchell, you're there for Miss King.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need a breakout room with her?
If you could, please.
Yeah, let's do that for a moment. Let them talk, and then before we do it, do you need a moment with your client? Okay, let me do a breakout for them.
Ms. King, Ms. Mitchell, do you guys want to have a breakout room without me, or would you like me to join you?
It's up to you.
It doesn't matter to me. Storm, if you, I can join, or you can decide with
It
Ms.
doesn't
Mitchell.
matter. I'll just
Do
talk
you-
with Miss Mitchell.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, breakout rooms are open. That's room number 1, I think. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we're ready to go back. If everybody is together and ready to address the sentencing on Mr. Hairston, and move forward with that now. This is case number recalling 25S00526FY State of Michigan versus Guy Hairston.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Frey appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Morales on behalf of Guy Harrington, standing.
Okay, why don't you come over to the podium? Ma'am, you can move back to that bench if you want. Mr. Hairston, tell us your name. Okay, so this matter is scheduled for a sentencing today. Mr. Hairston was originally charged with a child abuse 3rd degree and pled to a child abuse 4th degree, which was the 1-year misdemeanor. He pled no contest to that charge. And now we do have a pre-sentence report here. And there's prosecutor's copy here. Did you see it, Mr. Frank?
I did, Your Honor. Mr. Shackley acquired it yesterday and he sent it to me, and I was in the courthouse yesterday to obtain it if I need a physical copy anyway. I have it in front of me.
Okay, and there's a defense copy here. Do you have a copy? Okay. Guess we have extras then. All right, so let me take a look at it. Here's the judge copy. And so did you have a chance to go over it with Mr. Hairston, and is it factually accurate, or do you have additions, corrections, or deletions?
I didn't deal with my client. I fully read the correction. It's fine. The jail credit be more. Its book date was May 28th. So getting 1 days.
May 28th. Well, if that's true, and I don't know if it is, but if it is, he would be getting credit through June 25th in the month of June. That'd be 25 days right there. And 4 more days for May. So that'd be 29 days. If that's accurate, then I guess we'd have to confirm that. But as to the body and the facts otherwise in the report,
No, there are additions, corrections.
okay. What would you like to state on behalf of your client?
Here, one of my main concerns is his death time. He's in NOCJ for a different matter. That matter is going to be heard in front of Judge Bourne next week. So I, in my experience, believe that he's going to be sitting in overtime jail for a period of time. And if my client is,
So when you say dead time, what, he's on bond in this case?
he was, so this basically has a personal bond, but if you sentence him to additional time, he won't get.
Well, then he's not gonna get, if you say he was arraigned on this case from May 28th, but if he had a personal bond, he didn't get the 29 days.
Yeah. She's trying to get him credit that he's not eligible for. You don't get credit when you're on a personal bond. You only get that's the reason why they give you a low cash bond when you're sitting on another case. If you're sitting, if he's out on a personal bond, or if he has a personal bond, those days don't count.
I don't even know how he gets 20 if he's on personal.
Or respectively, have to have to,
That's the other case. It's not this case.
my concern is that he will be served with additional time.
Well, you know,
You can, and he's going to be an open county jail, so it lowers incarceration. It's being achieved, whether or not he's sentenced to a longer. And he understands.
he's not incarcerated though on this case. Your point is, well, you know, he's serving something on another case, so let's make that count somehow. But it doesn't. It really doesn't. See, that's what happens when you have multiple issues. You get multiple sentences.
That is my concern. If you want to be very embarrassing, but it's only hard right now. That's involved. You know, the reports that he had found,
Well, what do you call whipping somebody 5 or 6 times with a belt? You know, that's not violent.
he didn't think it was, yeah, said it. Yeah.
That's the problem. This man studied criminal justice. That's what he said. But he don't think this is a problem. It's a crime. He doesn't understand that, but he studied this.
He sort of saw it as punishment as opposed to,
Yeah, there's something else to be said for corporal punishment. But you just can't do what you want to do for corporal punishment. And at some point, corporal punishment crosses the line. You know, a lot of people believe in that spirit of rod spoil the child. You know, there could be something to it. But I know one thing, when you got a 1-year-old that has soiled their pants, you don't do that. How was it teaching them?
I do believe the child was 6.
Oh, okay. 6. So what? Maybe the child's scared to death of you and sees you and just soils their pants. Do you ever think that that's not good? Do you ever think about the emotional, psychological impact you might be having? Child. Kids just don't, at 6, they just don't go to the bathroom on themselves without a reason. And so, as a parent, I guess you weren't supposed to be around this child in the first place, but you're supposed to have some kind of understanding of that. You can't beat somebody in the not soiling their pants. What are you thinking? Well, y'all are bad parents. Bad, both of you then, if that's the case. You don't say you would agree with the other parent to beat the child because they soiled the pants. That's not an excuse for neither one of you if that's what you agreed to. What kind of parenting is that? Children soil pants for different emotional reasons. You can't beat it out of them. You're supposed to kind of be understanding about that. Figure out what is going on with your child. Get them some help, some counseling, reassurance. And then they will probably stop it. I don't know. Who's your child with now? This one that got beat with the belt.
The baby was on the younger.
That child was here. Okay. That's okay. But you got children, you got to learn how to raise them. The one thing that you don't really teach enough, in my view, is how to get along with somebody in a relationship or marriage. And the other thing is how to raise a child. Nobody teaches you that. You learn by what you see and know. And that's not a good way to go. Because a lot of times what you see and know was not good. But that's what you know. So that's what you do. And that's how this stuff gets passed down through generations. And some of it's not good. So you got to kind of learn, read, educate yourself. But I know one thing, you don't beat a child for soiling their pants. That doesn't work. Like he's just like walking around doing it all on purpose. And all you got to do is smack them and they'll stop. No, it probably makes that child more fearful and more likely to go. And that child may or may not be going anymore if they're not around you. Who knows? Because once the fear factor is missing, the behavior will stop, whatever the reason is. So part of being a good parent is not only feeling your way in how to raise a child, but researching it, reading, figuring out how to punish, what to do, when to spank, if that's something you're trying to use, and how much force is too much force. Under what circumstances would you even do that? Because nowadays, you can be out in public doing that and somebody will call the police on you for spanking your own child. People do that now because it's considered abuse. You don't consider it to be abuse. You consider it to be discipline. That's not good discipline. But think about, well, yeah, you're a bad parent. You don't have the intention to be a bad parent, but you are a bad parent because look at what you did. It's okay to say, okay, that was bad. Own it. But make sure that in your heart, if what you say is true, I believe you probably do love your children, then fix it. Figure out a better way. You know, sometimes, I mean, children, especially boys, this was a boy, they need a dad. A mother can't show a boy how to become a man. But what you're doing is showing him the wrong way of what love means. I love my kids, I'll beat them. He's not getting that message. Guarantee you that. So, you know, to be the best you can be, you've got to think about the psychological impact of everything you say even, let alone do with your children. You know, there's nothing wrong with being stern. You know? And if you ultimately choose corporal punishment, choose it wisely. And choose a level of it that is not going to permanently scar or injure or damage and mark people. And belts is just not, it's not. So, anyway, you don't consider weapons abuse. Well, you know, come up with the times. You might have been raised that way. But what your grandmama did, she can't do, she couldn't even do now because it might be considered abuse, depending on what it was. And she would find herself in some courtroom trying to defend it as a reasonable discipline.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to, just before we get into the actual sentence, Miss King was here as the mother of the complainant of.
I haven't gotten into the sentence. I understand you're here to speak, and so is she.
I understand. I just want to make sure. I'm not certain if she wants to address the court this morning. I know she was thinking about whether or not she wanted to make a statement. So I was just hoping now would be a good time to check if she did or did not.
Yeah, well, let's ask her. Ms. King, do you wish to make a statement about the situation?
Yes, I really don't have much to say. The last 4 months have been hell for me.
If someone beat my 6-year-old for soiling themselves, I'll tell you what, I'd have a whole lot to say.
Trying to adjust and make a way for me and my kids after everything that we went through. I still love Guy 110%, but it's just not right. And I just hope that you figure it out. I hope that we can still co-parent with our children and everything, but I wish you would figure it out because this isn't the way.
Well, you know, Ms. King, sometimes you have to pause and step back from a situation and think it through. Your best interest is what's best for your children. And you're right, this might not be working right now. And love is good. It may or may not fix it down the road. But you got to grow and he has to grow. And your first priority is your child. And you will do, hopefully, what's in your child's best interest. And you both may need to learn a little bit of what that means. Best interest of my child. You just learn a different way to communicate, to talk to each other about parenting, because better for worse, you are the two parents your children gonna have till you die, you know? And they're gonna be relying on you. So sometimes you have to step back and reassess yourself, reassess him, reassess what's best for your children, and then move forward. And if this relationship is not toxic and it's meant to work down the road, maybe it will. But right now, he's got a lot going on. He's got a ton of things going on. And he's not even supposed to be around children. So you have to stand strong for your son by yourself right now until he gets through all of his issues and is in a position to be able to help parent his children.
And if I may mention one small thing.
Yeah.
He thought the child was biologically his, so that's why he didn't realize that it's a violation. He didn't know.
Your
thought
Honor,
that
I'm sorry, I don't want to get into arguments on the record with Ms. Morales, but there was a motion in the circuit court with the judge. Defendant well knew that he was not supposed to be around the child. Ms. King and I have talked about that. It is what it is as far as, you know, she did allow the child to be around the defendant, but he knew he had a probation term and he was not allowed to be around that child, let alone abusing the child.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a court order, and he violated it. And you got to watch your children, Miss King. You got to make sure that you're following that order and not letting them be anywhere where he is until that changes. And it might change down the road. But right now he can't. And I just don't understand this whole concept of disciplining a child for urinating. It doesn't work that way.
And I just want to state, like, since we've been out of that situation, my son has not peed on himself. He graduated kindergarten. He's doing a lot better in school. And I'm happy that he's doing a lot better, but I feel like I trusted you along with trusting you with my child. And you let both of us down. And that hurts me the most because I really tried. I really did. And you know I did.
Well, I guess the good news is your child is thriving now. Is he still wetting the bed or doing things on his own, urinating?
No.
He's not doing that. All that's changed since he's been away from his dad. Well, there you go. See what I mean? You the problem. Yeah, stay away because you have to. But use the time that you're away so that you don't make these mistakes. You got a whole lifetime. This kid is 6. You got 10 more years. He's 16. 3 more years after that. He's what, 17, 18, 2 years, 19? He'll be grown. You got some time left to try to forge some type of good relationship down the road. So the question is, what are you going to do to improve yourself? Improve your viewpoint on what to do to raise them and be a role model for him. Right now, with all the problems you're not a role model yet. But that doesn't mean you can't change that. And if you have the love you do have for your son that you say, you will work to change that. You will work to be the guy that he can rely on that could show him the way. And my goodness, wouldn't it be wonderful if you went on and finished school? I guess you got your associates, maybe went back to school, got a great career, and was there for him when he needed you. And he could say, well, look what my dad accomplished. You're already halfway there. You finished high school, got an associate's degree. Work on you and work on learning how to parent. He will be there, trust me. No matter what you do, you're still his father. And he will want some kind of relationship with you. So you'll get a chance to try to make this up. And that order won't be there forever, I'm assuming. as he grows. So, but you can't do anything about it now. You got that one back there too. So, you got some kids counting on you. And so the bottom line is you got to improve yourself. You let her down, you let the 6-year-old down, but he's doing okay without you. He can probably be doing even better down the road with you if you make the necessary adjustments. But I appreciate you being here, Miss King. This is not an easy situation for you, but just know that your son is going to be okay. Children are resilient. And as long as he feels love, he should be okay. You got to protect him and you have to love him. And he's showing you what he's made of because he's doing well in school. He is trying to show you his best. And he's no longer frightened and afraid and going to the bathroom on himself and things like that. So that's a good thing. You just do your part, and hopefully down the road, Dad will do better and he'll have an opportunity to still play a role in his son's life. You, however, got to make decisions about what you're going to be doing down the road with this whole situation, relationship-wise, because I'm not sure what's going on there with 2 women sitting here for you, 2 children. That's a mess right there. You got to decide what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So, Mr. Frey, anything from the people?
No, Your Honor, I think that it's all been addressed as well as it can be by Ms. King.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say one thing, Your Honor. If the court does do the recommended sentence from probation, given the defendant's lack of, I guess, accountability and lack of likelihood to succeed on probation, I think that's understandable. If the court does impose a period of supervision, I'd ask the court to maintain a no contact order with Ms. King and Makai King. There are some circumstances outside of what this case is about that I think still make it problematic. And I think I don't need to put Ms. King in a position to advocate for it or against it, but I think she'd probably agree that that's the best situation for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on with the current matters that he might have pending. And I know the history, he's got, says it was attached, and I'm not sure what else he has other than the CSC. It's something that was dismissed under spouse abuse diversion. Would I love to supervise him, to get him some parenting classes, mental health treatment, things of that nature? Yes, I would. Because he's had there's been CPS issues, tether violations on the other matters that he had. So I'm not really sure he's the best candidate at this point for probation. And I do think the 93-day sentence was based upon, as you said, Mr. Frey, a lack of accountability, a lack of understanding. Just it's frightening, but it is
A lack of give a shit more than anything.
what it is. So, I'm going to give him some credit, but I don't know if he's got any. I'm going to look here and see when he was first arraigned. It's back in May of 2025. I think. Let's see what they gave him. I think it was a personal bond, but let me check. Yeah, it was a $2,500 personal bond from May 23rd. Now, did that ever change? I don't think so.
Yeah, he was booked into the Oakland County Jail on May 28th. I think he was already on bond on this case.
Yeah.
But he was incarcerated on the probation violation.
Well, not much I could do because I can't give him credit where he doesn't have any coming. So, sentence of the court here is for 93 days in jail. No credit. He doesn't have any. Credit will start accruing as of today. That's going to conclude this matter. No probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And good luck, Ms. Hakeem. Case number 24S012410M. People of the City of Southfield versus Christopher Matthews, spelled Kristafer.
Workshop on behalf of the people.
No, it's not.
What?
City of Southfield. Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mike Baldwin, Bob Raymond attorney, Miss Matthews, good morning. And we just please state your full name on the record.
Christopher Matthews.
All right, Ms. Matthews, of course, this is a probation violation hearing on a underlying charge of domestic violence, which the maximum penalty could be up to 93 days in jail. You do have a right to have a full hearing on this with your lawyer representing you. At the hearing, the burden of proving the violation would be on our city attorney, and they would have to prove by the preponderance of the evidence, meaning the greater weight of evidence would have to tip that scale just slightly enough to convince me that you're in violation in the manner being claimed. So if you choose to have a hearing and you're found guilty, or if you waive that hearing to plead guilty, that's when the penalties could come into play. You understand that? All right, so the violation goes back to June 2nd, 2025, at which time it was alleged that you failed to refrain from consuming alcohol and failed to verify that you completed an assessment. All right, so those are the allegations. How would she like to proceed?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. After counsel invites my client, explain the burden of proof. My client is going to plead guilty to Provision 1 on May 5th, 2025. She will admit consuming alcohol contrary to probation mandate. And 2, we would like to provide guilty with an explanation.
All right, so ma'am, you wish to plead guilty to those allegations. Anybody force or threaten you? You've been promised anything? And you are waiving your right to the hearing freely and voluntarily. All right, so it's true then that you did consume alcohol and came back positive, I guess, on May the 5th, 2025. And also did not verify an assessment. Okay, then I believe that's sufficient. And I'll accept the plea finding that it is freely, understandably, voluntarily, accurately, and knowingly. Okay, what was the explanation? What do you
Thank
want
you
to
very
say?
It was a financial issue, and I explained on Provision 2, I explained to her that this is an obligation. It's not a preference. She needs to put her financing together. She is getting paid. She works 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. So she gets paid tonight. She would like to do the assessment, schedule that and have it locked in within 48 hours. What I would ask the court to do is to adjourn the sentencing component and allow her an opportunity to go to court that she can get this alcohol assessment done, forbear the scram tether temporarily, continue testing to show that she can correct the error for ways under Provision 1. Come back, she does have the 76948 box checked.
Well, why am I bringing her back?
Just so that she, because of the financial component on 2, she can get the alcohol assessment done within 48 hours.
Well, why didn't she get it done before? Because she didn't have any money. Okay.
She's getting paid.
And why was she drinking?
There is no explanation.
Because it takes money to drink.
And isn't it ironic that we spoke of that very thing that I thought Your Honor would say, that she has money for alcohol, but not money for it. We did discuss it in the hall. Your Honor picked up very well.
Okay, Ms. Matthews, if you can't see, if you don't have some issue going on, whether it's an alcohol issue, some mental health issue, something, then if you tell most people don't drink, they won't have a problem abstaining. There's not an alcohol charge per se, so you should say to yourself, okay, drink. Why do you feel you need to drink?
I think that's a question mark that she needs to work through.
Well, that's what I'm asking, and I'm waiting for an answer. Do you know why you're drinking? So if you don't know, you're just going to continue down that path of just doing something, no good reason, violating a court order to go to jail? No? Well, how you going to stop if you don't even know why you're doing it? That's a good question, isn't it? So something's going on in there. Something's eating you up to the point that you feel like you got to drink something. Because if it's just a matter of somebody celebrating something, that's an easy one. Just don't celebrate that way. So I got to believe you're drinking for some other reason. Something that's deep down, pitted in your soul, that's bugging you. And you're saying that's the way to fix it. Drown out the sorrows. That don't work. Well, once you drink, whatever the problem is, it's still there. Still eating at you. And in your case, all you've done is just muddied up your waters a little bit more because now you got to deal with a probation violation, possible jail, and anything else that could come from it. Is it really worth it? No, it's not. I wouldn't think it would be. You know, probation is an opportunity to step back from yourself and look at how did you get yourself here? How did you even get a domestic violence case in the first place? What caused that? And dig down in your soul and say, why would I do that? No matter what kind of relationship it was, love relationship, spouse, father, mother, sister, brother, it doesn't matter. There's ways to work out disagreements. So I don't know how you got here, but you're here. So probation opportunity for you to step back and assess all that and think it through and make adjustments and say, you know what? No, this isn't who I am. This isn't what I want to be. This is what I want to do. I'm just going to change this. And I'm going to walk out of this probation understanding that I can't force anybody to be who I want them to be. I can't exercise any authority and control over another person like that. It's hard enough to try to do it with your children. So nobody else you can really do it with. They have to want to do it. And if they don't fit whatever it is you want them to be or do, then you got free will to walk away and pick somebody that will fit. So you got to fix your mindset. I don't know what else is going on there that would cause you to say, I got to drink, even though you know you're not supposed to. But this is a chance for you to step back from all of that and just reassess where you're going in life. We all could stand to do that at some point in time anyway. Makes us better people. Maybe you want to get more spiritual about it. I don't know. You got choices. This choice is not the best choice, I wouldn't think. And if you don't know why you drink, that's a real problem because I'm going to tell you, you're going to do it again if you don't know. So you got to figure that out and work on it. And your lawyer's saying, well, you know, she's had some financial problems, but you're working now. Okay, that's a good thing. You're working now. So that's one little blessing right there. So now it's time for you to figure out, well, what are you going to do with that job? How much can you save? How much can you put towards your bills? How much can you do to try to deal with this court order first? Because that's got to be your first order of business. And figure out what your next move is. Where's your next job? Is there a promotion with this one? Do you need to go to school? Do you need to, get more qualifications to do an even better job? And this is what I mean by assessing where you're going in your life. You just don't do something and then just stay there and, well, this is what I'm doing right now, and that's it. Because you're starting your own growth that way. And you got plenty of years, hopefully, to live. I mean, on the normal way of thinking, unless something happens, you got years and years to live. And what are you going to do with that time? You're just going to let it go by? and not really do what's best for you and better yourself. Drink it away. So yeah, maybe you can verify an assessment. They're recommending a scram tether for 60 days. That's not a bad recommendation because you were drinking. But he wants me to let you go test still because that's a little cheaper than the scram tether, I guess.
And the assessment, I think the question mark could be answered if we find out what the outcome of the assessment.
Well, maybe. It might. He's too little for a sucker. How was that baby? Did he? I don't know if we got one. My assistant is out today. And Charles can't go look right now. So we'll get him something. Okay. All right. Well, does she have an assessment appointment?
She's gonna make one, but she's getting the money tonight with her paycheck. She would like the opportunity to schedule that tomorrow. Within, I told her do it within 48 hours because she works tomorrow. Be realistic. She can schedule it today. And Your Honor, I am court will indulge me in allowing an opportunity to come back here on July 9th in the morning for my other bot matter with Arbon, Judge Arbon.
I don't know if July 9th is a good day for us because I don't know what we're doing. What docket is July 9th?
Upstate in morning time and it's a village in the afternoon.
What time do you want?
I'll be here at 8:30 with Judge Arbon. We can just,
Okay, July 9th. What time in the morning? That's the state docket. Let's say 10. Okay, July 9th at 10.
yes, Judge.
She'll come back. She'll pay something if she can, but definitely get the assessment.
Yes, and she is,
And continue to test and,
she has to test today, Judge. 4 o'clock. Okay, and I'm hopeful that we'll have a negative and that can assist the court with understanding whether or not the nature and extent of the circumstances that she's under.
okay.
And hopefully,
Hopefully so. Hopefully so, ma'am. The choice is yours. All right, that's the date. Somebody will give her notice.
Man, if she doesn't heed the judge's advice, she is going to have a long, hard road to hoe. Yeah, so those are what I have for tonight. I'm sorry there's not more, but the audio editing took a lot of time. Did y'all see the new graphic? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Here we go. You can put your opinion in your prison wallet. So yeah, I made that today. Oh no, the time to have invested in tethering companies would have been when Manning was on the bench. And yeah, when she was working the Orca dockets. Oh yeah. Everyone got a tether. It fits so well with so many. All right, guys. The guys doing my basement are going to come tomorrow in the morning and finish up. So that means I need to get some sleep. I really need to be awake to open the door. And then I gotta herd kitties. You know, I haven't seen her for a long time. It doesn't mean she's not still a judge. Maybe she's just not live streaming. I'm not sure. I am not sure. I haven't seen her, but she might be. She probably is, and I just haven't seen her. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I had so much fun. I know the cases were a little heavier than normal, but you know, sometimes we're gonna have that. Oh, the storms have made it so humid that my hair is just not cooperating. It wants to frizz. It really wants to, and I'm not gonna let it. I gotta go get a little plate and dump the health bar crumbs out for Ava, or put them directly in her food dish on top of her kibble. She'll definitely go crazy over that. I hope you all have the most wonderful, beautiful, blessed night. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.